Todd from Relatively Paranormal, standing in front of the gallows at Burlington County Prison Museum. We've had a pretty active investigation so far.
Thank you. Wow.
Banging noises.
Whoa!
Did you hear that?
I sure did.
It was right behind me.
Can you do that again? That is awesome. If you're a man, can you knock again? If you're a female,
He just did.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
If this is Joel, knock again.
Huh?
Whoa!
That is fantastic. Thanks, Joel.
Wow, brilliant, Joel, brilliant.
REM pod going off, EMF detector going off, flashlights going off, Carlos going absolutely bonkers, giving very, very compelling answers.
I was over there checking it out. That's nuts. Thank you.
Wow, awesome.
They're going nuts on it, Marissa.
Thank you. Perfect. And I'll just say, is your name Joel? If your name's Joel, can you turn on the flashlight for me?
Now, Joel, did they hold you in this cell over here? This one over here and chain you to the floor? What does that say?
You want to walk over there a little bit so I just get over?
Torture! It says torture!
Were you tortured?
Yeah, they tortured him.
Oh, yeah. He was here and he was innocent.
They chained him to the floor next door.
Yes, that's right.
And he said they were torturing him. Wow, that is messed up. It says torture! Whoa!
I'm so sorry, Joel. That's...
I asked if this was him, and he spelled his name was out by one letter. Everything lit up. That's that double zero now. And then I said, we went chained to the floor, and it said torture and the lights on.
Bam.
Wow!
Right there.
The gallows area was where at least 7 people were hung by the neck. Hanged by the neck till they died. And supposedly the sheriff wasn't very good at hanging people, and they would often, instead of getting their neck broken, dangle here for like 10-15 minutes, strangling to death, which is absolutely horrible, whether they were guilty or not. So we'll have some incredible videos from this investigation coming up, so stay tuned for Wickedly Haunted on New Bedford Guide, bringing you the most incredible evidence of paranormal activity, and hopefully proving to you folks that these things do exist. We're out of here. Well, not out of here. We're going to continue the investigation.
10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations to capture evidence proving the existence of supernatural beings.
Okay, can you, both flashes, you're gonna leave tonight.
And help out families being tormented as we once
You're gonna leave
were.
those kids alone too.
And what we discovered is that the South Coast is wickedly haunted.
That was incredible. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Hi, welcome to Wickedly Haunted. I'm Todd.
And I'm Marissa.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're still getting used to running the show ourselves. Marissa and I have had a very busy week as well. We did 2 investigations this week. One at this place, the S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian Mansion, for the second time we've been there. And we also went back to the Oliver House in Middleborough, Massachusetts. We had some friends up from Indiana, Mr. Richard Ballard, who owns the Whispers Estate out there, another extremely haunted location. But tonight, it's all about the Burlington County Prison and our final episode on that location and our investigation there. Now, some locations are dark, and the lower you go into the location, the darker it gets, like the closer you get to the basement. This place, it seemed like it was darker up on the second floor, like where the death row dungeon was. Little did we know when we got the evidence review how truly dark and honestly semi-horrifying the gallows where they executed many prisoners and the basement actually were. And we actually found out that not one person was buried out back after they were executed, but according to the spirits, many people were buried out back. So with that type of thing going on at a location that will stain that ground, stain that area with that negative residue, probably forever, to be honest with you. Hanging people, we all the nasty stuff that can go on in prison, stuff like that. And we have some incredible evidence. We have 4 or 5 more videos to show tonight, and they're just chock full of crazy visual, audio, video, pictures, everything you can think of. We have for you tonight an apparition. We have everything tonight. Before we get into the first video, we just want to mention that if you are experiencing any sort of paranormal activity at home and you would like Marissa and I to come help out by performing an investigation, we call ourselves Relatively Paranormal as a research group. We're happy to do that. It's free of charge. We don't judge anybody. Even if you just want validation, hey, things are going on, you think you're going crazy, right? We're happy to come in and provide that for you. If the house has got a demonic oppression going on and you'd like us to try to cleanse it, we can't guarantee anything, but we can try that as well. All you have to do is go to, do you want to just hit the,
Yeah, sure.
all you have to do is go to our website, which I can't see up there, relativelyparanormal.com. Like one page down is a booking form that you fill out, name, phone number, basic stuff, and we'll get right back to you. It goes right to our email address, which is relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. Now, if you like the crazy videos and the content that we put out on Wickedly Haunted, we also have a YouTube channel called Relatively Paranormal, a Facebook group called Relatively Paranormal, and a TikTok channel called, guess what, Relatively Paranormal, with more like short evidence clips. I do reviews on ghost hunting equipment. If you're a paranormal investigator, I review the latest equipment. Marissa and I have invented and we sell paranormal equipment. We all sorts of crazy stuff on there. So the last thing I just want to mention is if you're watching tonight, please get involved by posting questions and comments. You can post them during the video, after the video. The way it works is we're going to play a nice long clip of different evidence that we captured here. And then Marissa just going to give a quick like breakdown of what we saw and why we thought it was paranormal, that sort of thing. And then we're going to take all your questions and comments. And this is a far, 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 far more enjoyable and fun show. If you get involved, throw something up there. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know why you like the paranormal. Ask about paranormal investigation or comment on any of the evidence or anything like that. Please just keep it positive. We're here to entertain. We're here to educate because we would like to remove the stigma from hauntings, right? The government has now told you there's UFOs and showed you videos. We're showing you real 100% evidence of paranormal activity. Believe me, I'm 47 years old. I have better things to do than to crawl around dilapidated, haunted locations full of dust and God knows what else, okay, and show stuff that is not real. So everything you can see is 100% real, and we will let you know why we think it's paranormal one way or another, and you can make up your own mind from there. But we're here to interact and have fun, so let's do that tonight. And to go to the videos, you just want to go to Brand right there. We'll talk for a second or something. So we're going to get into this video right here, and please post your questions and comments, and we'll be right back.
It's like so freaking close.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
What? What?
Oh, that's not normal.
Anyone down here? Any spirits? Any ghosts? Any dead people? into the courtyard area here. Whoa. Whew, here's Brisk, baby. Door Brisk. Oh, there it is. Is this where they hung people? Out here? Tell me what happened to you. This is the gallows at the Burlington County Prison Museum.
Where are you?
We're going to replay that scene. Marissa doesn't realize it, but as she passes this hallway, at the end of the hallway, you can see something down there manifest that seems to have glowing eyes. We're going to replay it again in an enlarged slow motion replay. Look right here, you can see the glowing eyes. It's free floating. It seems to be made of white mist, and it stays at the end of the hallway.
Boy, is it creepy down here. And very cold. Whoa. Oh. Am I outside? Where are you?
Over here. The gallows over here.
Whoa.
Alright, want me to go up there? This is where they hung you. Hanged you. So this is the gallows area. There would have been a rope right here and some sort of trap door where they would have dropped them from. And word on the street was that they were not that good at hanging people, and instead of breaking their neck, oftentimes... What? Okay. Oftentimes they would stay here for 10-15 minutes dangling, twisting in the wind, kind of being tortured. So that does not sound fun to me at all. Were you hanged here? I'm going to take a couple pictures up here just to see what's up. Anything's up here. It was not until we got home and reviewed the evidence and saw the pictures that we captured at this point that we realized that I truly was not alone up on the gallows. Stay tuned for the next video clip. You are not going to believe your eyes at the pictures that we captured on the gallows at Burlington County Prison. All right, so we're back. So I just want to mention real quick that I'm not a fan of heights. That gallows is high, and it has to be high because there's a trap door on that platform, and they were supposed to tie the rope a certain way. It was supposed to be a certain thickness and a certain length depending on a person's height and body weight. When the trap door opens, they're supposed to fall with enough force to actually break their neck. Well, the history of that location is that that did not occur, like, ever. So it takes like 10 to 15 minutes for somebody to strangle to death back then. And you got to remember, back when they were hanging people there, they weren't all murderers and child molesters. They would hang a horse thief. You know, so not a pleasant way to go, and to go for like horse thievery or whatever. You know, these people were like surviving on the very barest, you know, substance of life.
Right.
They're farming. Like, I get it. Like, their animals were everything. Their horse plowed their field. It took them to town. It did everything. So they were pretty serious about that stuff. And they were not afraid to hang people at all. Not even a little bit. The other thing you saw is just how creepy it was. Marissa and I were trying to figure out where we were going to investigate. We only have a certain amount of time at these locations, 5-6 hours. Yeah. We got split up for a second, and I thought she was out at the Gallows already. And I went out there, and I went into the basement, and it's creepy down there. It's dark as hell. There's not like one crumb of light. We're looking through the tiniest little LCD screen trying to find our way through, and then you saw her trying to find her way through too. And I also know that when I'm showing evidence that I have the advantage of being able to look at it on a big, ridiculous 47-inch computer monitor screen and figure out what I'm looking at and slow it down. And I try to present it to you folks in the rawest, unedited of forms. I'll slow it down and maybe enlarge it. That's it. Like, I don't mess with the picture too much or anything like that.
Right.
So hopefully you can see everything. And it only gets crazier from here as far as this episode goes. It was really, really strange. The other thing I wanted to mention about the Gallows is that Marissa and I really went out there with no equipment. We went out there to kind of take a break and just check it out. Even though we've had investigations outdoor that was very active, for some reason we just went out there. It was cold. It was November 20th. It was freezing out there. And for some reason we just went out there real quick. And you're about to see, we got some of the best evidence of the entire investigation out there. Out there in the freezing cold with no equipment.
Yeah, I know.
Just 2 cameras.
I mean, had we done it over, I would have said, let's bring this, let's bring that. But
it's different, though. You know what? We're always showing things going off and devices going off and this and that. And what you're about to see is just very raw, like asking questions, trying to be polite. You don't know what's out there. People were killed out there. You just have no clue.
When we were out there, I didn't really even feel like there was much out there with us. It
didn't. That's what I wanted to mention is really, like, honestly, like, the evidence showed a completely different aspect of this investigation than what we experienced ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. If any questions, una commentos. Terry says, hi. I don't know if there's a comment there. Go ahead, Marissa. I'm blind, so you'll have to read that.
Lucy Cabral says there should be more people watching this. I totally agree.
We always agree with that.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you for watching, though, Lucy. We appreciate
absolutely.
it. And hopefully you're enjoying the content. We have much more to come. And, there's Terry's comment.
Terry says, looks like y'all are missing 2 key people. Me and Jess. Yes, we are.
Terry is a friend of ours. He bought some ghost hunting equipment off me. He lives down in Louisiana. He's in the car business. Marissa and I originally were in the car business, and we both share the passion. We all 4 share the passion of paranormal investigating. So thanks for the comment, Terry. And we're going to get right into another video. Please post questions and comments. We love to hear from you guys, and hope you enjoy the next video. We will see you in a The following pictures and video were captured during our investigation of the Gallows area at Burlington County Prison. Can you show me what happened to you, what they did to you? Is that the beam where they hung you from? Unbeknownst to me at the time, Marissa was also taking pictures of me while I was taking pictures of the Gallows. We were absolutely shocked to discover during evidence review that I was completely surrounded by entities. These are the pictures that she captured on that very night. And although shocking and disturbing, they are 100% real. In the first picture, you can see I'm standing up on top of the steps taking pictures of the Gallows. The night vision camera that we used to take these pictures makes it almost look like daylight, but it also reveals the supernatural beings that were all around me, including on my body, or at least in front of it. The arrows are pointing out the very obvious shapes, forms, faces that I saw upon review of this evidence. The arrows moving around to show these different entities as they appeared on that night all around me and the staircase. To us, a lot of these entities looked human, and a lot of these entities looked very non-human and like something out of a horror movie. That is especially true of this picture, where as you can see, there are entities all around me. And as this close-up comes up, you're going to see over my face there is a reddish figure wearing a tiny white hat and a bluish form ripping away from my face that is very bizarre. In the close-up, you can see a green face at the bottom and what looks to be a demonic hand coming out of the platform with long white fingernails holding a purple head. Now what you're seeing is a full-bodied apparition either walking down the steps or hanging from the gallows, we're not sure. You can also see a greenish head in a full form coming out of the platform at the bottom of the picture. Now one of our best captures of the whole entire string. In this picture, you can see entities all around, but as the next frame comes up, you are going to see a reddish, demonic-looking head at my feet and a weird reddish head at the top of the page underneath the fencing. At the bottom of this picture, you can see a very human-looking form looking very upset or observant at what's going on all around him. In the next picture, you can see a weird greenish light by my feet that would appear several times in these frames of pictures. There is also a strange red form on my chest. I am wearing a blue jacket. Even more disturbing is the fact that my face does not look like my face. I am not wearing a black hat and I do not have black holes for eyes. Most disturbing of all is the black shadows surrounding just my facial region. The arrows are pointing out what we can see as fingers and a head right behind my head. It appears as though a shadow man is behind my back trying to have some sort of effect over me. In the next set of pictures, you're actually going to see more proof of the existence of this shadow man and what it's trying to do to me. As you can see, it looks like there is something strange towards the back of my head, and that's the shadow man right there. You can see much more detail in his face. The arrows are now pointing out what looks to be his cloak, his feet as they're wrapped around me as this thing is holding on for dear life. The arrows are now pointing out what looks like to be some purplish face coming out of the shadow man, a green form over near my arm, and a bluish form underneath my arm. In a second, you're about to see video evidence of this shadow man and what it's trying to do. Now for the video showing the shadow man's apparent attack on me. In a second, you're going to see shadowy arms start wrapping around my body right here as the shadow man is right behind my back. It is totally insane. I did not feel anything at the time. Now my entire body is covered by a shadow. In particular, the part on my arms is jet black, where a second ago you could see all the color of my body and sweatshirt in the full spectrum video. It's fully bizarre. The arrow is pointing out the shadow man on my back right now, and the entire side of my body is covered by a shadow. That is not a shadow from a light. The shadow from the light that's casting from my body is on the wall behind you, which in a second you will see in some of the pictures. The arrow is now pointing out the shadow man's body, his head, his arms. The video is about to get really strange in a second as that shadow man is about to lift up above my body. Right now you cannot even see my head. Here's the shadow man's head extending above my body. My head is below his head. He is now spewing out some sort of pink substance around me, which forms itself into a bizarre type demonic face. It has big bulbous eyes. It almost looks alien-like, or like some sort of interdimensional creature. As you can see, that face is covering my entire face, and the head you see above it is not my head, but the head of the apparition carrying out this attack. Now my face is transformed into the face that you saw in the picture with the black hat and the black eyes. In these screenshots, you can see right now the shadow man's face on my back, that white spot right there, and you can see most of my body. Now you can see it pointed out by the arrows, the arms being wrapped around me, the legs. It's really bizarre, and the top arrow is actually pointing out where his head is currently located. As you can see in this video, the right arrow even shows a hand gripping onto my arm. The red arrow is pointing out his head above my head, and in this close-up, you can really see how the blackness has enveloped my body in every way, shape, and form. That top arrow is pointing out the Shadow Man's head, well above my body by at least a couple feet. That's my head being pointed out right now by that bottom arrow. The arrows are pointing out his hands around my neck right now. That is the head being formed out by the substance coming out of the Shadow Man's mouth. The arrow is now pointing out the face of an apparition that would end up covering my face with the black hat and the solid black eyes. And for me at least, it really doesn't get much weirder than this. Wow, so I know that segment was crazy because it was crazy to me too. I felt none of that when I was up there. I'm glad that we have the pictures from the special night vision camera to back up the video. The video's a little grainy and potato-ish because Marissa's camera didn't have the bright light on it. My camera did, and I was up on the gallows with it. So we probably should have switched off cameras. You know, it's not that easy when it's just her and I trying to work 9 different cameras and 20 different pieces of equipment.
And we weren't really out there to get footage anyhow.
Yeah, and again, we weren't out there to so much investigate, just to kind of check out the gallows. We didn't expect it to be that active.
Right.
But all that is legit. And at the end of that video, when that thing rises up above my head and spews that like pink mist all over me, and you don't feel or experience any of it, that's what's freaky, and that's what people are experiencing. It must be when they're in some sort of partial possession or something. Even freakier is the fact that there's a man's face covering my face with a black baseball hat on and black eyes, and that thing covering me completely with a shadow, which is insane. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, ever, investigating this for years. I don't know. What did you think when you saw it?
I couldn't believe it. I didn't feel, like I said, I didn't feel any of it out there. I was just, to me, because we were outside, it almost felt like a breath of fresh air, which is bizarre. But because it felt a little bit dark inside the prison, when I was out there, I was feeling like, oh, fun, you know, like relief. Although I didn't go up on to the gallows, so And
again, we crack off tons of pictures during the investigation. We don't have time to look through every single one. And we also, like when she's looking through that tiny little GoPro screen up at me on the gallows in fast motion, I only saw it because I looked at the pictures and I said, what the hell is this? And then I matched up the time codes to the video and saw the disturbing video to go with it.
Right. You never see this. You would never see this in real time. You have to slow these videos down because spirits move very, very quickly. Very quickly. Extremely
quick. It's bizarre. And honestly, there's more pictures. I have double that amount of pictures of that area with just as much wild stuff on it. I just tried to show you the ones related to what happened. And I will tell you this one thing, that the one picture with the red demonic head down by the camera is one of the most compelling and bizarre, incredible pictures I've ever seen. Granted, he was at my feet, which probably isn't that cool. But incredible picture. And the full body apparition, I thought he or she was walking down the steps. Marissa thought it might have been hanging or being in the process of being hanged because its feet look like it's dangling.
Exactly.
But that's an incredible picture too, with the green woman's head coming out from the platform behind it.
Right.
What was bizarre about the green woman's head is that the green light appears in like 10 of the pictures all over the place. And in almost everyone, you can see her face in it.
Yes, yes.
So it's crazy. There's, I believe there's just one comment. It's from Cindy.
Oh, Cindy Sylvester. Hi,
What's
Cindy.
Up, Cindy?
Thanks
Thank you for
watching.
tuning in. So let's get right to another video here. And please remember, post your questions and comments, even if you think it's weird. You know, as long as it's not nasty, that's fine. You know, we're here to talk. It's much more fun when people get involved. Trust me, absolutely. And let me put on the next video, and we'll see you shortly. And please post your questions and comments. We want to hear from you, even if you're just letting us know where you're watching from. All right, and enjoy the video. After coming down off the gallows, while Marissa and I were getting ready to head back inside the prison, several amazing visual anomalies were captured on our cameras, unbeknownst to us at the time. Since we were here on November 20th, Bugs could not explain any of these anomalies. The first one is a series of spirit energy orbs that fly off directly into the sky. Amazingly enough, one of them that's flashing and clearly self-lit and perfectly circular flies directly at us. In the second clip, a white mist figure appears out of nowhere, and something else, another anomaly, seems to shoot away from it across the courtyard. We have absolutely no idea what this could be, and wish we had seen it live because it was absolutely stunning to catch it in review. Next is a spirit energy orb materializing out of the prison wall and shooting out across the courtyard. Lastly, an odd mist anomaly shoots up out of the ground and flies back down into the ground of the courtyard.
Well, they said she can't hear us or something. I was trying to yell out as fast as I could.
They called me or you idiot.
They told me an idiot, I think. So I'm just going to leave this camera down here. Just leave that camera, just go round up our stuff and hang it out.
You need something out of here.
I have a special camera. Can you show yourself?
Go in here.
The bathroom spot.
Oh, yes.
What door?
In the gallows, like. Oh my God, there's a bunk bed in here.
Yeah, it's still in there.
No, because we could have sat in here and dinner. He's in here. It's weird they have the fireplaces in here, right?
Prison meals. Oh, this is where the cook lived.
Oh, the kitchen.
As he walked into the kitchen to cook.
Please do not touch this, please.
Did you cook down here? Molly. I know. Come on. What? Upstairs there was one, yeah.
As I reach the top step, the flare camera catches what appears to be two ice-cold humanoid shapes standing in the middle of an empty hallway on the first floor of the prison. I can think of no other reason for the camera to map out two humanoid shapes that are ice-cold in the middle of a warm hallway. I had placed this camera outside the room that Marissa and I investigated in the basement of the prison. The following footage is the strange visual and audio anomalies that the camera caught during the time that we were in this room talking to the dead.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna hang out with the cook over here, with Cookie. Cookie!
The lights are now off as we are all set up and have begun to investigate in the room right inside this hallway, and you are not going to believe what you are about to see next. What appears to be an apparition twice approaches the camera after coming through that doorway in front of it. There is no explanation for this mist as we are in a sealed building and this is the only time it appears. A white mist arm shoots out from the doorway. You can see it clearly in this instant replay. Another strange anomaly shoots out from the same exact area. An amazing bright orb manifests out of the wall and quickly shoots into the ceiling, followed by another beautiful flashing self-lit orb that comes out of the opposite wall and flies into the ceiling. Watch in amazement as several more incredible self-lit orbs and other weird anomalies seem to fly by in front of the static camera in the basement of the Burlington County Prison.
Cookie. So,
He did not, the ghost, whoever that was, did not like being called Cookie. I don't even know where that word popped into my head. That's right outside where the chef's cell was. The chef had a special cell there right next to the kitchen.
the chef was a prisoner.
Yeah, the chef was one of the prisoners. He had a special cell there, and that's where we ended the investigation in the basement. But we were setting up there, running back and forth up and down the steps, and all that crazy stuff was being captured by that hallway static camera. And then once the lights were on, we were in the room investigating, but he did not like being called Cookie one bit.
He let you know.
That's one of the best EVPs we've
I
ever
know.
captured.
Like, what did he say?
Not Cookie.
Not Cookie. Not Cookie.
He actually says it a couple more times. It's kind of funny. It just gets redundant.
It was actually a good conversation that we had with the cook, and there was another female down there too, in that room. Remember?
Yeah, the communication we had in the basement was incredible. The evidence we captured down there was bizarre, incredible, all of the above. But even after I got off the gallows, we captured strange things in that courtyard. I don't know what that thing, the apparition appears and then shoots. I don't even know. It looked like another apparition. He shot across the courtyard.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. But you got to remember, it was November 20th. It was cold as heck. There was no bugs out there. No bugs.
No.
There's no bugs. It's a sealed courtyard with a 30-foot wall. There's no animals in there. There's none of that. So all that stuff is 100% paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see a flashing, self-lit, perfectly circular spirit energy orb floating by, that's what we consider paranormal. Especially when it happens one at a time, one in an hour. That's not dust. Dust looks like snow. It floats around with the air current.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to tell the difference. And those 3-4 things that shot up at once were pretty crazy. Pretty crazy indeed. Yeah. But some amazing EVPs captured at this location. EVP stands for electronic voice phenomenon. And what that is those voices that you heard were captured on our digital media, on our cameras and voice recorders without us hearing them. We do not hear them until we review them later on the computer. And that's when we hear those voices. It's actually one of the things we wanted to talk about. It's so bizarre that while we were upstairs and everything else, that they were saying all these mean, hateful things about me. You have to wonder, like, do they realize that we can't hear them? Are they talking amongst themselves? Somebody was giving a lot of orders during this investigation to the other spirits.
Yes.
Get him, do this, do that, follow them, get them out of here. Like, is it a bully spirit there ordering them around? Is it a demonic spirit ordering other spirits around? It really, some of these things you have to think from a human psychological perspective. These are dead human beings. They act like live human beings a lot, except for a couple of things. One, they need energy and will take it from us and our equipment. Two, they're dead and they have no bodies to do it. They can't pick things up,
Well, they're pissed that they're dead too.
Yeah, they're not happy being dead. They're not happy that they're stuck there.
Usually the situation that got them there is not the best.
I mean, we go to homes and mansions where people live. Like we went to S.K. Pierce Mansion. This man was filthy, stinking rich, had a life of lavish. That was his dream home. It's like freaking 4 stories, a basement, 20-something rooms. And he's stuck there and he's pissed. So can you imagine the guy who stole a pig gets locked up in that prison, beaten all the time, God knows, hung.
I remember at SK Pierce, remember the EVP that came through that said, like, I used to have it all. You said
yeah,
that I used to have it all, like, I don't know. They still remember everything about their lives, and they're still able to learn things even after being dead.
I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know who we're talking to at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, they can lie to us. They can be whatever they want to be.
Of course, we can't see them. So, sometimes we see them on some of our equipment. But even then, if we see them in stick figure form on a structured light sensor camera, a 3D mapping camera, do you know who the stick figure is? No.
No. And they're also, I believe that they're able to show themselves as they were when they died, as they were at whatever age. Like, I don't feel that, I don't know. I feel like if they wanted to show themselves as a young person, they could do that. And I feel like we haven't really gotten that answer.
They can do a lot of weird things that we're trying to figure out answers to, not because we grew up obsessed with the paranormal, but because we moved into a haunted home 10 years ago and it had a serious effect on us. We had to find our own answers. the ghost hunters, ghost avengers, they weren't coming to the Sylvia household to investigate for us and give us answers. And quite honestly, they all seem to give the same answers. So we really wanted to do our own research and go get our own answers, which is what we've done. And we try to ask spirits, some similar questions to see like what happens when you die. Did you see your own body? Was there a light? Why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
And then we try to ask different questions that we think of at the time. Can you leave this location?
Right.
If not, why? The orb that flew by, was that actually you?
Right.
The pictures we get of you guys in mirrors and in windows, is that you? What are you doing? We had a spirit tell us they're hiding in there watching us.
Right.
Well, how the hell does he hide in a window? When the windows are darkened at night, when it looks like a mirror, how do they hide in a mirror? These are the answers that we're trying to get, not just for ourselves, but for anyone out there watching who's interested in the answer.
Right. And for curiosity and also to prepare us. Don't you want to be prepared?
There are two certainties in life, death and taxes, okay? We're all going to die one day. None of us are getting any younger. And I know I'm curious about what's going to happen, okay? And I'm sure you folks out there are curious what's going to happen. That's one of the things this show is all about. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. And offer help to other people.
And some of it I know is just so crazy that it doesn't even look like it's real, but believe it, because it is. I mean,
I get it. It's what you're saying is it's really mind blowing. Like your mind almost fractures when you're looking at some of this evidence, and you're like, I have to call Miss over. She has to call me over and be like, is that real?
Because
there's a freaking guy standing here.
Everything tells me that this stuff doesn't exist, and now I'm seeing yeah, exactly.
Not even just seeing human spirits, seeing bizarre ass things. Those pictures we showed you were weird.
Yeah, they were shapeshifters. More.
The thing on my back was weird. It had like jagged teeth shooting out in every direction. It puked pink stuff all over me that I didn't even feel, which turned into a face. Like that was a real video. Granted, it wasn't the best quality. It was a real video.
Yeah.
And it's weird. And the pictures were real. And they're weird. And they back each other up.
Right.
And it's all weird. And when I saw it, I thought it was weird and quite disturbing, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Quite disturbing. What was he trying to do? Possess me? Affect me? Steal my energy? What the hell was he trying to do?
Yeah, I don't
know. Some people, they don't understand. They think it's cool to go out and ghost hunt. But you don't understand. It's quite dangerous. It's quite dangerous. These things will need energy. And they will do lots of things to get it.
Mm.
Let's take a couple questions and we can get into the last and best video where we finally get into some investigating. We have a video from our boy Terry.
Terry says, wow.
Even I can read that. I mean, I'm only half blind. And then another one from Terry.
All they want is to scare you to use fear as energy. Yeah, absolutely true.
They like to do stuff like that, which is what they try to do people in if they're in your home and stuff like that. They want to scare you for energy. They want to make you angry because rage is a powerful energy. They want to make you depressed. Just think of all the powerful energies. They're not going to make you fall in love. That's the only other more powerful energy than that.
Yeah.
So they try to bring out the negative energies because they can feed on that because that's what they need. Okay. Unfortunately, they really can't scam Marissa and I. And I'm not saying that from a machismo or, well, man. From that type of, but when you've lived around it for so many years, this is a haunted home number 2 that we're living in, and we didn't move into it on purpose, and we don't want to live in a haunted home. I'll tell you that right now. It sucks. They drain our energy. They impress their bad emotions on us. It is not cool. But when you've lived around it for so long, it's very hard to scare us. The video that we showed tonight was disturbing, not really scary. Maybe if I turned around and Fangbone was on my back with his jagged teeth, it might have startled me.
You think so?
I don't know. I would have had you got the holy water and cast it on me.
I would have grabbed the camera,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's another comment here.
Cindy says amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely is. Thank you.
Honestly, we're trying to show you, first of all, we use state-of-the-art technology and a lot of proven techniques that Marissa and I have both developed and borrowed from other people that we thought looked effective. We've tried a lot of different things that worked and didn't work. And over the years, developed our own repertoire of things that are extremely effective.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried equipment that stunk. We've tried equipment that's great. We've tried every night vision light in the world. We've tried all sorts of different things to try to bring the best, not TV show to you, but the best evidence to you, which is what it's about for us, the evidence. So we really appreciate the kind comments because it's a lot of work. As much as a lot of it's fun, it's still a lot of work for 2 people. To do. People laugh at us when we show up at a location with all of our equipment. They think it's hilarious because we have a tote that's 4 feet long with wheels and a handle with our cameras in it, and then another big black tote that Marissa got that's like this high with a handle on it, and then another case. And it's crazy. We show up with 2 banquet tables now to set up a command center because we used to have stuff all over the floor and everything. And then when I say banquet tables, they're 4 feet by 2 feet. So that's 8 feet by 2 feet long across the room that we had set up the other night. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
It's funky. I love it, but it's still a lot of work.
It is.
It's fun. All right. What do we got? What do we got?
Feeding off the emotions. Yes, Terry, you're
Yeah,
right.
they absolutely love it. They love it. And if the city would like to go sometime, but I'm not sure if I could handle it.
You could definitely handle it, Cindy. Absolutely. And you're more than welcome to
I mean,
join us.
Definitely chew on it because you can't. We investigate only in the pitch black. So if you get scared or startled, you can't run. You could fall down a staircase and get hurt or something else.
But if you're curious and you'd like to check some place out,
even being careful, the Burial Hill situation. I was walking through Burial Hill Cemetery in Plymouth one time, trying to look just through the little camera, and my right leg fell into a hole up to here. Okay, I thought it was a sinkhole because sometimes they get those in people's graves. The coffin will disintegrate and crush in, and it leaves a hole in the ground. And inside this hole, there happened to be a rock. I thought I was standing on a guy's skull. So I'm, think about falling in up to your hip, and just with one leg in the pitch black in a haunted cemetery.
Are you sure that was a rock? I mean, it really could have been.
It actually could have been somebody's grave, but I don't think it was. But still,
yeah.
So even being careful.
And then it's like,
oh God, and I forgot it when I gashed my leg too. That's right.
Yeah.
I got stitches this summer. I walked into a grave and gashed my leg wide open. That's right.
Yeah, you're not very good.
All right, let's show them the last video.
Kidding around.
And what? I don't know what that says. Okay.
Oh, the next one just says okay.
I don't know what that means. That's some sort of negative comment. I'll delete it. Peace out. All right, so we're going to get into this last video. Please post your questions and comments.
Anyone down here, any spirits, any dead people, any ghosts, any astral beings that would like to make their presence known? My name is Todd. This is my lovely wife, Marissa.
Hi.
Whoa! Hey, thank you. Can you touch that antenna, the metal rod?
Do you need $1?
Oh, did you hear that noise?
This thing's going off. Holy smoke.
Whoa!
Look at this thing. Wait, what next to here? Look at that. 0.7, 0.8. What? Why?
Whoa!
Oh, because the two boxes.
Yeah. So stay away from those. So.
Right, so where's where to put it? I have to go way over here. No, it's still. Look at it. It's still spiking. Look at it, Todd.
But
Look at this. Look at the spikes.
I don't know.
You're not looking at them.
Can you back away from that? That just say 200.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
You first of all.
Oh,
Thank you.
what the?
Whoa! Well, put away from that. That might be.
From where?
Thank you. Can you grab that antenna? There you go. Excellent.
This gotta be the.
That is not. That's proximity.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with reading. Move that around and you'll be able to see. Thank you. Can you make that device go off again if you're a male? Well, thank you. There we go. Thank you. Did you cook down here? Were you a cook? If you were a cook, make that go up again. Oh, you were.
I don't know where to put this. I don't know.
Excellent.
Put this.
Okay. Okay.
No, not next to that. No, I don't know where to put it.
Did you pass away in this prison? You did. Thank you. Can you shut that off so I can ask you another question? Excellent. Are you stuck here now? Can you stop for a second? Are you stuck here? Make that go off if you're stuck here and you need help. Increase. Increase? You are. Okay. Oh, you're right in front of the camera, I think. Watch out for that. You gotta stand over here, the camera's way up. Okay. Can you stop for a second to ask you another question? Stop for a second. Well, when you're ready to stop, I'll ask you a question. That's a nice shot of the whole hallway on clear. Nice shot. You back away from that, sir. Sir, you back away from that.
Oh my God, the
All right, stop for a second so I can ask you a
the
question.
kitchen cook was a prisoner?
Yeah, oh, what? Diabetic meter, where is that?
Inside my bag.
Can I grab it? Hold on. Okay, did you die of natural causes in here, like a heart attack? Make that go off if you died of old age or something like that. You did? Okay, excellent. Good communication. Okay. Did you, Okay, stop for a second. Stop for a second so I can ask you a question about your leg here. Back away. You gotta back away from that, sir. That thing is going nuts. Oh!
Don't tell me to run.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put this over here, and if you decide you wanna turn it on and communicate with us, we'll be here for a little while longer. You're tired? You're tired?
Yes. Help?
Who needs help?
Both of you?
I just off. Give me off.
Wait a second. Who's paying
Who's dead? Now who? Is the cook here? What type of things did you cook for the prisoner? You say ice cream?
I thought it was meant to. I thought it was bread or something.
Really?
Bread? Did you make burgers? You did? Did you make chicken? Did you make rice?
I'm gonna come over here.
That sounds really good. Were you a good cook?
Right there. Back up, please. No. Oh, yes, he was. Somebody else is here. Did you taste his cooking?
Yes, I did.
What was your favorite meal that he cooked?
Yes, I did eat. We need help.
Need help?
Are you stuck here? Turn on.
How long were you locked up here? 10 years.
You should. I just heard chocolate.
How did you die? 10. How did you...
Hanged us. We all.
They hanged you? It was bad. Did you say they hanged you? Did you also cook for the warden and his family? Yes, he did.
Yes, I did.
May I ask, what were you sent here for?
I don't know.
Keep thinks it was animal theft? You stole a horse? Did you say you got sent here for animal theft? What kind of animal did you steal?
Pig?
Pig? Oh shit.
Pig?
You know what though? Yes. You know what? I feel bad. Did you steal the pig to feed your family? Yes. That's sad.
Quarter.
And they give you 10 years for stealing a pig to feed your family? Yes, that's fucked up.
That's bullshit.
No, what do you mean? That's what they did.
That's crazy because
They would put little... Did they put children in here too for theft and stuff? They did. Did you find that strange? I find that odd.
Ready? 1.
Did you move this off of this thing?
Yeah.
That's what that noise was.
Yeah, so those were some cool orbs that the Empress and I were just talking about. But the communication there was very clear. I normally will subtitle the Vortex Spirit Box with all the stuff that I hear, but I could hear it all pretty clearly right there.
Yeah.
So the gentleman that was the cook there, who called himself Big Red, of all things, Big Red, Big Red, said he got locked up for stealing a pig. He did 10 years and died of natural causes whilst he was in there of that, like a heart attack or something. Really just a horrific story.
Yeah.
And I listened to it. He did not. It wasn't ice cream that he cooked.
No.
It was like chicken and beef or something.
It sounded like ice cream.
It did sound like ice cream at the time. I'm not gonna lie. It sounded like ice cream.
I was excited because they said my name like crystal clear. They always say Todd's name, but they never say my name. It was like the one time.
They say my name, Todd. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't care what they say about
Perfect.
me, but I just think it's cool. Like,
That's awesome.
But finally they said my name, so I was like, all right, I can,
Oh
can die
God.
happy.
We have to play like a good cop, bad cop type of thing. I'm always respectful of the spirits. It's not that. It's just that I'm loud and I don't know. Sometimes they just get mad. I think sometimes when you go to places where there's constant ghost hunting, they're just aggravated. They don't want to be asked the same questions all the time, every night of the week. People coming in there, and a lot of people are nasty and want to provoke and think it's funny, till they get followed home by a hitchhiking ghost and tormented for the rest of their life. Those are the things that can happen to you if you're not respectful of them and you don't protect yourself properly, like we usually try to do. The one section I forgot to put in there, which I meant to put in there, which I may do a special segment and put it out there, was the chef. We got into a conversation, and Mariska told him that there are now things like the Food Network in the cooking channel, and people like Bobby Flay and Guy Fieri are $1 million chefs. And the guy told you that she was full of it.
He's like,
he said he called BS on her, and said that was not true. But when we told him it was true, I don't think he was too pleased about it. But it's funny because you got to remember, in a place that was in operation from 1811 to 1965, you could have anybody pass in that time frame, and somebody maybe who saw TV and kind of understands what you're talking about, like maybe they saw Julia Child in the 60s, and it could be a guy from 1812 who never saw TV in his life, never saw a movie, never saw any of it, and they have no understanding of it. Oftentimes, when they see our equipment, especially at a virgin site like somebody's home,
They say it's magic.
they think it's magic.
Yes,
They do.
It's weird, but that's what they say, magic. That's the exact word that we've heard over and over and over.
And that's the only time when Marissa will garner the negative attention, because they will call her outright a witch every time. Those are the places where they don't get mad at me. They get mad at her. And they'll say that she is a witch because we have all this technology with us.
And females were considered witches, whatever.
Seriously, if you think about it, if you went back 100 years or 200 years and you showed somebody your cell phone, to that would be indistinguishable from magic. It really would be, which is crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But that is the end of our, Burlington County Prison investigation. We hope everybody has enjoyed all the bizarre evidence over the 3 episodes we showed. And I will put out, I had pictures from that prison cell with the cook that were just as bizarre as the Gallows, and I'm going to put those out in like a separate like slideshow type video and talk over it, and y'all can think of tell us what you think about that anyway. But I don't know if there's a couple comments before we go. Let's get to them. What does it say? Go ahead.
This place really looks amazing. All that stone has seen so much energy pass through. Oh yeah, no doubt about it, Terry. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of odd things have happened at that prison. I mean, back then, the sheriff, the guards could have been just as nasty as the outlaws. I was watching a show on the Old West the other day, and there was people, especially in the Old West, that were outlaws one year and the sheriff of a town the next year, which was crazy. It was right when I was watching Tombstone. I watched a documentary after, and a lot of the outlaws were actually, lawmen, and then outlaws, and then lawmen. It was crazy. Look at Wyatt Earp. He was a lawman, then he wanted to go into the casino business, and then somebody kills his brother, and he ends up going around as a vigilante killing the people who killed his brother. And then what does it say? How does I get that vortex spirit book? You can't. It's a one of a kind, buddy. I'm sorry. It's a one of a kind. But it's a great device, and it is really clear. But we'll be back maybe next week, probably definitely in a couple of weeks with a new episode. We have not decided what to show yet. We have about 8 or 9 episodes in the can that have never seen the light of day yet, that we have done since October. That is my daughter, Julia. I'd rather not get mauled by Sunny, the crazy feral cat, while I'm doing the show, but that is okay. But we just want to thank everybody from our family to yours for watching. We will see you soon. We appreciate it. Julia, do not bring the cat over here. Julia, if you want to say bye, wave to the crowd at home. And we will see you soon. And everybody stay safe out there. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you had as much fun as we did.